Thanks, April. Hey, Fred, how's it going?
Fantastic, Sam. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I just wanted to congratulate you on your recent fatherhood. That's
Oh
really
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. It's great. That's why I look so well rested this morning.
Yeah, I was just wondering, how has that affected your daily job at the Edge?
You know, when I found out that I was going to have a kid, I was talking about this on air, and everybody told me that a key component of having a good child rearing experience is having a good wife, and I am blessed that I have a good wife because she stays at home with the baby. So I'm very lucky that she takes care of that stuff so it doesn't really interfere with my job, but it
Yeah,
undoubtedly has affected it. I mean, kids are like a constant source of prep material.
yeah, for
They do
sure.
dumb stuff all the time.
Now, as a father, what's been your most rewarding experience so far?
Um, Rewarding experience. Well, when he doesn't barf on me, that's always really rewarding. He hasn't really done much. He's only turns 8 weeks tomorrow,
Wow.
so he's still pretty little. But he like kind of like looks at you, grabs your hand. That's pretty cool. I don't know. He doesn't really do much yet. Eventually, I'm sure he'll do something pretty
Yeah.
awesome for me.
Cool. Now, in terms of radio, how do you feel the experience of listening to a song or music on the radio differs from that of listening to it on your iPod or watching a music video?
It's like the lottery, man. Like when you hear a song come on the radio that you really like, it's, oh, wow, I can't believe that they're playing that right now. And the thing about the radio that I always love the most is that I don't care what station it is, every station, the guy working or girl working there has been listening to music for years and years and years, and so their knowledge of the music library they play is usually pretty good. And sometimes you'll be like the other day, I was talking about Jane's Addiction going on tour, and I just made the switch of the song and I played Ocean Size by Jane's Addiction, and it was like, where else are you gonna see? When are you gonna hear Ocean Size? Like, who goes home? I want to hear Ocean Size by Jane's Addiction, but that's like one of my favorite songs by them. So sometimes
Yeah.
you really luck out. It's like the lottery, but a lot of times you're hearing stuff that you may have heard a few times before.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, on a more serious note, Steve Jobs of Apple
Yeah.
recently passed away. Now, as a DJ and someone who's part of the music industry, how do you feel that his innovations like the iPod and iTunes have like impacted music?
You know, they've had a massive impact. You can't exaggerate the impact that the iPod and the MP3 and the internet have had on the music business. I mean, the Napster lawsuit and all that stuff. I put that all in the same category with the iPod. Yes, the iPod came around after all that Napster business went down, but it used to be that there's a really cool video of Steve Jobs introducing the iPod when he talks about how for the first time ever you can have 1,000 songs with you. That was a huge,
Yeah.
huge deal because up to that point, people could only bring they'd only bring 12 CDs with them whenever they went anywhere. So you only have 12 albums with you.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to hear something else, you'd go to things like the radio. There was no YouTube. There was none of that in that time frame. And I really think that the iPod was a catalyst in changing everything.
Yeah.
And there's still a place for conventional media like radio and television and newspapers and all that. But for music broadcasting particularly, do you really think that it's a coincidence that stations like Much Music and MTV play a quarter of the amount of music that they used to? No, it's all the same. It's all related because you've got iPods, you got video iPods. They've really taken over that facet. It's very much me, super serve me, what I want all the time. We could get into the whole impact that's had in the media in general, but we'll just stick to music for now.
All right. Now, as for the future, what do you think with the death of Steve Jobs? How's that going to impact the future of the music industry?
Ooh, I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact. I don't think he was the guy that was designing all the electronic components in the iPods and all that stuff anymore. I think that he was the spearhead, he was the figurehead of Apple. I think they'll continue to be a dominant force in the marketplace. But the iPod it used to be about 60% of Apple's business, and now it's maybe 6 to 3% of their business because the iPhone and the iPad and all that have taken over. But I think you're going to continue to see change, and you're going to continue to see people wanting to be super served as an individual rather than be part of a group.
Yeah.
I think that's the future.
Okay, very cool. Well, Fred, thank you very much for your time today.
No problem.
Yeah, and now, April, back to you.